This meeting to order, and first order of business is a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Roll call.
12 present, 6 absent.
We ready then? Okay. Approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion for the June 12, 2025 minutes, please? Rob? I need a second. Linda? Are there any comments or questions? Okay. Please vote. It's not showing up. Oh, Jennifer's here. I thought she was going to be gone. Did you vote? Jennifer, did you vote? Yeah. Okay. All right, so 13 ayes. Okay, 13 ayes. That passes unanimously. Okay.
Proclamations and presentations.
A proclamation recognizing Nicole Berkey for her years of service to Peoria County as a resident. Steve?
Okay. Well, I get the distinguished honor tonight to present a proclamation to one of our distinguished elected officials who is one day from retirement. And the smile on your face will give that away. And so, and her husband Ron is here with her. As I said, for better or worse, he will come up and join. So we'll go ahead and start. Whereas Nicole Bierke is retiring from her job as the Peoria County Treasurer on July 11, 2025, and whereas the Peoria County Treasurer's Office is responsible for the receipt, management, investment, and disbursement of public funds, as well as billing and collecting real estate taxes throughout the county. Whereas Nicole graduated from Western Illinois University with a bachelor's degree in business management and is a member of the Illinois County Treasurers Association and the Illinois Government Finance Officers Association. Whereas Nicole started with Peoria County in 1998 as a budget analyst, began working in the Treasurer's Office in 2000, appointed as the Peoria County Treasurer in March 28, 2017, and elected as Treasurer in 2018 and in 2022. Whereas Nicole was recognized with a 25 Women in Leadership Award in 2021 for her accomplishments as an elected leader working for the people of Peoria County. Therefore, I, James C. Dillon, Chairperson of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize Nicole Bierke's years of service to Peoria County and its residents and wish her the best in her retirement. Proclaimed this 10th day of July of 2025, signed by James C. Dillon and attested by Rachel Parker, Peoria County Clerk. So I'm going to pass it over and let Ms. Nicole, but before that, let's give her a round of recognition.
Thank you. It truly has been a pleasure to serve the people of Peoria and to work with all of you. I know I've worked with some board members more than others. In 1998, I lived in Chicago, and I decided I wanted to move back home to this area because of affordable housing and just the atmosphere here. My family was here. And I happened to go to a job fair at Northwoods Mall, and Peoria County was there. And I applied for the budget analyst position thinking, a year, it's just a starter job. A year I'll be done. Who wants to work in government? And 27 years later, I am still here and as an elected official. So thank you for the opportunity in 2017 for the appointment and to continue the work I had done in the office. I believe that I'm leaving it better than when I got it. And so I am proud of my accomplishments. And I love my staff. They're great to work with and work side by side, and I know that they're going to do great things in the future. Thank you for my family who supported me through all of this, especially elections and parades. And then thank you, of course, to my husband who put up with all my working hours and nights and weekends and things like that, and vacations, where I took county work with me. So, and to all the taxpayers, I hope that I know I'm not the most popular elected official. I'm kind of one of the nicest ones, but probably one of the most hated ones. But I appreciate working with all of them, and I hope that I serve them well. So thank you again.
Thank you.
No. Okay, next is citizens' remarks, and we have none, so we're moving on.
Okay, we're on to the consent agenda.
Does anyone want to pull one, or we're just gonna, okay? No? Can I get a motion? Rob, second. Linda? Any questions or comments? Okay, please vote.
I vote aye.
Yeah, because it's not, let's see. It's not up here, let's see. It has nothing. Okay, there we go. But see how you can't see, let's see, let me go here. All right, let's see. Who was our second? I have the mover, but I don't have who seconded it. Yeah, but I need to know who seconded it. He motioned, but who seconded? Daly.
Linda
Linda
second.
Daly, okay. Let me put her on here. All right. 13 ayes. On your, you said Danny? You said aye, though. Correct. Let me put Danny. There you go. Looking good, Matt? All right, got you. All right, we are on to zoning ordinances and resolutions. (9.1) zoning case number ZBA-2025-0031, petition of Tim Wagenbach, a rezoning request from A1 agriculture preservation to I1 light industrial, I'm sorry, that's L1 light industrial. The petitioner proposes to rezone 14 acres in order to expand a grain elevator business.
Paul on the first and a second. Terry? Okay, any questions or comments? Paul?
I'd just like to let everybody know this is another one of our Peoria County businesses out in the county expanding, so it'll be great for up in the Edelstein area and for the farmers up there, and great for Peoria County. So I hope everybody votes yes for this. Thank you.
Additional questions? Okay, please vote.
Danny, I didn't get you yet. Okay, that's 13 ayes. Case 9.2, zoning case number ZBA-2025-0030, petition of Ginsini Properties LLC, a rezoning request from C-2 general commercial to L2 heavy industrial. The petitioner proposes to rezone 8.28 acres in order to operate a concrete recycling business and storage yard.
Paul on a first and who second? Terry? Okay, any comments? Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. This is just the petitioner had bought the property and found out that the zoning was not the right way, so they could build a building on it, so they're getting the zoning done properly.
Additional questions? Please vote.
Let's go down the list, make sure we got everything. That's 13 ayes. Nine point three, a waiver case WAV 2025 0003, a petition of 4J Farms LLC, a request to waive section 20-8.3.4.1.B.2.A of the Unified Development Ordinance, which requires a new minor subdivision to have access to a public water supply.
Motion with Paul, second. Terry? Paul, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam. This is just basically, there's not a public water supply out there where they could hook up to, so it's just a waiver to use a well.
Additional questions? Okay, please vote.
That's 13 ayes. Nine point four, a waiver case number WAV 2025 0004, petition of 4J Farms LLC, a request to waive section 3.16.3.2.B.1 of the Unified Development Ordinance, which requires a minimum of 30 feet of public road frontage for parcels being created by minor subdivision which are less than 10 acres in size. The petitioner proposes to divide a 2-acre tract from a parcel currently accessed by a private driveway.
Motion, Paul, second. Terry? Paul?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. This, basically, they don't have the opportunity to have more than, or to have the 30 feet because they're right next to the park, so this is why we're giving the waiver.
Additional questions? Okay, please vote.
That is 13 ayes. Nine -5, waiver case number WAV 2025-0005, petition of Michael P. Cochran, a request to waive section 20-3.16.2.3.B.2.B of the Unified Development Ordinance, which requires a minimum of 60 feet of public road frontage for parcels being created by tracts surveyed which are 10 or more acres in size. The petitioner proposes to divide approximately 33.2 acres from a parcel assessed by a private driveway.
Motion, Paul, second. Terry? Paul?
This is just a waiver helping the petitioner to settle an estate.
Additional questions? Okay, please vote.
Member Riker? You have 13 ayes. Nine point 6, waiver case number WAV 2025-0006, petition of Michael P. Cochran, a request to waive section 20-3.16.2.3 Point B, Point 2, Point B of the Unified Development Ordinance, which requires a minimum of 60 feet of public road frontage for parcels being created by tract survey which are 10 or more acres in size. The petitioner proposes to reconfigure 3 existing parcels without public road frontage in order to settle an estate.
Motion, Paul, second. Terry?
This is along with the one that was previous, so just to help settle the state.
Okay. Additional questions? Okay, please vote.
That is 13 ayes. (9.7) Strong Communities Program Grant Award Extension, Illinois Housing Development Authority Strong Communities Program SCP Grant Award Extension and Reallocation.
So I need a motion to get it on the floor. Paul, second. Marcia?
The chairwoman asked me to kind of explain what we're going to do next. This motion that you now currently have pending on the floor, I believe the chair is going to ask for a motion to divide the question because this resolution we're dividing it into 2 parts. You'll see in the resolution, one part to accept the grant increase to enter into the agreement with the state that provides for the grant increase. And then the second part is going to be your actual budget appropriation, authorizing that appropriation in your budget, which we need a supermajority for, which we don't have tonight. So the chair is going to ask to divide this resolution into 2 parts. Go ahead and accept the grant, which we'll do tonight, and then we'll defer to the next meeting the budget appropriation piece. Happy to field any questions or assist with any language. Okay, so right now you have your motion on the floor, and there's going to be a subsidiary motion, another motion to divide the question. So we need a motion and a second to divide the question and then vote on that.
So that's
Okay, Linda on a first, motion to divide the question. Jennifer on the second. And this is a motion to divide the question. Please vote. Please vote.
Who was the first with Linda? Okay. That's 13 ayes.
I now need a motion to accept the grant. Can I have a motion? Paul, and the second. Brian? Are there any questions regarding this motion? Okay, please vote.
Terry had one.
I apologize. Terry, go ahead.
I don't have a question, but I think the point should be made that the reason this grant increase was made was the relative success of our zoning office to accomplish what the original grant set out to do. Other communities, other recipients of this grant haven't always been as successful in making that happen. So when their money goes back to the state, the opportunity comes to the more successful entities. That happens to be our zoning office. And since I knew that Andrew wouldn't blow his own horn on that, I would like to congratulate Andrew and his staff for getting the attention of this funding and getting it into our coffers. It's really helpful not only in demolishing houses, but it helps fund his office and staff.
Thank you, Terry. Are there any additional comments or questions? Paul?
And just to add to what Terry said, that'll be 3 more additional houses that we can demolish. So we've done quite a few over the years, so this is great. Thank you for the zoning board.
Okay, this is the motion to accept the grant. Please vote.
Sorry, can you hear me? 13 ayes.
Next, we'll have a motion to postpone to the next meeting the appropriation for the grant. Linda on the first, second Paul. Are there any questions? Okay, please vote.
Member Groves Allison? Okay. See it now. Okay, 13 ayes.
Okay, we're at miscellaneous and announcements. We'll start on this side. Brian, do you have anything?
Yes. First of all, with regard to the last meeting when we voted on the Public Works project or Public Works agenda, my brother retired from the farm in December, and I've been doing all the farming, and I humbly apologize to the public that I didn't delve into the fine print more, because I would have definitely have voted no had I done so, and that's my fault, that I didn't take more time to do that, because for all the years that I've been on the board, I've always said that we need union people and non-union people. And there's plenty of room in for Peoria County for both of them, and so I will always stand behind that, and I just humbly apologize to the Peoria County community that I voted in favor of that resolution.
Paul, nothing. Steve?
Yes, I have asked ACA Smith to provide informational comments regarding the HHS building and kind of a 6-month punch list. So if I could ask him to share that with the board, I'd appreciate it.
So the county administrator, the public health administrator, they're really the ones that are continuing to work that process as far as the punch list goes. If you have specific questions tonight, I'd be happy to take those back to the administrator, allow him to respond when he returns. What I will tell you, what I have been involved with is the HVAC system in the air conditioning, which I know everyone has seen the temporary units outside. I am happy to report that for the past 2 weeks, the temp units have not been running, and the building has been conditioning itself and staying where it needs to as far as temperature goes. The plan right now is to continue to keep the temp units on site, at least for a few more weeks, just to make sure that we don't revert back and have some additional issues. But really, what it looks like it came down to for this most recent event was just some programming issues to where the system was essentially fighting against itself and continually trying to turn heat back on. So that's an HVAC update that I can give you this evening. The punch list items will continue to be worked.
Rob, no? Matt, go ahead.
I just want to follow up with that too. I was also out there at the campus this week, and I guess I was kind of maybe wondering, what is the chain on some of those to make sure that it feels like there may be a little bit of a disconnect between some of the departments and getting through that punch list? Is there a proper chain, or is there some miscommunication there, or just following up on that?
Yeah, there's no miscommunication, at least that I'm aware of. I know the chain so far has been Monica, the health administrator, working through some of those punch list items, and then involving the administrator, and we're continuing to involve River City and the architect as need be. But again, certainly before the warranty period starts to expire, there'll be a more robust, I will say, assessment of punch list items that still need attention. And if things need to pivot or changes need to be made, that'll be handled at that time. And of course, we can bring back an update as that continues to progress.
So there's still a time period yet that we have to get those things done before we sign off on the building, or
Correct.
what? Okay.
There, if I
How
can
long
add,
do we have on that yet?
if I can add to that,
Sure.
there is I would say, a verbal agreement at this point that the HVAC systems in particular will carry an extended warranty. We have a verbal agreement. We haven't put that in writing yet because we haven't come to the end of the test period. We told them we wanted, before we would begin to resolve other issues related to this, we wanted that thing to run normally for 30 days without a service call. I think we're about 6 days into that period. It was last Friday we got rooftop unit 1, which was the last one that needed to be resolved, up and running. It's performed normally through today. So extending the warranties from the end of that 30-day period has been discussed and fundamentally agreed to. We're just going to figure out, when does that 30-day period start? We hope it's very early in August. And so our warranty period will start from there. As far as chain of command, there are entities in the building that rent from Peoria County, and therefore Monica is their de facto landlord. That's the chain of command. So when they have an issue and that they need to have reported, they would report to her, and then Scott and I, Kyle, have been very involved in taking those issues to the architect, to the subcontractor and general contractor for resolution. I'm not aware of any major conflict in that area. Everything that anyone has asked that we look into, we have, and solutions are ongoing. There's a ventilation issue in the morgue area. It's only going to rear its head in very odd circumstances, but it has already since they've been in there one time. So that'll get resolved, I think, in the coming days. But overall, it seems to be a normal punch list. The HVAC issues were abnormal until we got their best technician. I'm going to nominate him for chairman of Train Corporation when it's all said and done. But right now he's a service tech, and he's done a fantastic job where many others have failed. So I personally think that situation is as well in hand as it can be, with the minimal amount of disruption, and those temporary units are currently our insurance policy to make sure that that building doesn't have a closure.
Did you have anything else, Matt? Okay. Jennifer?
I just wanted to update everyone, our JDC task force meetings have come to an end, and where things were left was that we were going to follow up if there are further questions and also have them come to a meeting to help answer questions if anyone has any. So they did present to us an extensive slideshow. If anyone wants those slides forwarded to them, let me know, and I'm happy to do so. I believe Scott may have done it already, but I know some folks didn't see it, so I'm happy to forward if you haven't seen it.
Thank you on taking the lead on that. Linda, would you like to introduce anybody?
Yes, my daughter's here in the audience, Allison Daly from Houston.
Camille? Dan?
Yeah, I want to jump in on the health campus, and I guess what I would say is I'd like to see a punch list. I'd like to see what that is. I think we have a right to communicate that to staff, and I also think we have a right to educate staff on the difference between a facility issue and a construction issue. I pointed out to Administrator Sorrell last week something as simple as a cover on a junction box that is missing in one of the spaces, and that's an easy repair. That's a couple screws. Now, I know a majority of our conversations have been focused on the HVAC issue, which is large. I mean, that's a giant task. So I just don't want to lose sight of all the other smaller things that are currently problems at that facility. So I would ask administration to share a list with staff and board members along with timelines so we understand and staff understands that these things are actually being addressed. Because back to Matt's point, I think the disconnect is communication. And I'm not going to say it's any one person's fault or a number of people's fault, but we certainly have a right to educate staff on what is happening and what our plan is to get it fixed and how long that's going to take. And I'd like to see that within a week.
Terry, do you have anything else?
I've been asked to announce that the Peoria County Livestock 4-H livestock shows started today at the Stark County Fairgrounds. The pork chop dinner is tomorrow night, followed by the auction at 7 p.m. at Raber Packing Company. So if you're available tomorrow night, the 4-H would love to see you down at Raber's at 5. Sounds like a fun evening for their auction.
Marcia? Okay. I have a couple of things. First of all, Gretchen, would you like to bring that? Where? Okay. So I'm going to read this. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of Peoria County in 1925, both Peoria County and the Old Settlers Association issued bronze medallions. We found out about them when a resident donated one to us last year. While looking for others online, we discovered the Old Settlers one, but we haven't been able to find out more about that one. The Peoria County one features a scene symbolizing westward expansion, a pioneer stand besides a Conestoga wagon? Does I pronounce that right? Conestoga wagon, pulled by oxen, gazing towards the Illinois River as the sun rises. In the distance are teepees and a canoe on the river, evoking the area's Native American heritage. The reverse side shows a stylized version of the Peoria skyline of the time, along with county seal and the inscription, Centennial of Peoria County, Illinois. The medals were produced with red, white, and blue ribbons. The medal on the far right was issued by Peoria County Old Settlers Association. One side depicts a Native American in a feathered headdress surrounded by the inscription, Peoria County Centennial 1825 to 1925. The reverse notes the founding date of the association, 1866, alongside 1925, acknowledging nearly 60 years of the organization's own history. Gretchen, do you want to make any comments? Okay. Second of all, Melissa has asked if you did not fill out the 2025 strategic plan update project prioritization. I have it hard copy, so if anybody wants to grab that after the meeting, I'll have those up here. Kyle, did you have anything? Okay. Any additional? Okay. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Regarding Terry's invitation there, I was up at the Stark County Fairgrounds today, and it sure was different since I was a kid. We've always had the 4-H fair at the Heart of Illinois Fair, so I guess it's going to take a while to get used to it. But anyway, my grandson showed a steer and did well, so the kids are still having a good time, but it's just a lot different. I don't know what else to say. My good friend Phil's not here to comfort me because he was on the board. So.
Okay, we're adjourned.